Hey, this is Lisa Baudouin. Welcome to Lisa's chat room. Today I'm going to do my review on my RCA RDW 3208-B dishwasher. Bought a while ago. So I'm just going to do another review here. I'm going to walk through again. I'm going to try to remember to talk about the things I didn't talk about on my first video that I made when I first bought it. But before I begin, I must disclose to you that I'm not an expert in anything. What you buy and what you do so at your own risk and peril. I'm just sharing information with you of what my opinions are and also to how it works for me. So first of all, I like it. It's great because it fits right underneath my kitchen cupboard here. I back up a bit, you can see. But it takes up a heck of a lot of room. So make sure that whatever dishwasher you're getting, you check the dimensions. They can get under your cupboard because some of them are a little bit taller, some of them are a little wider. I have this on my counter here, and then it comes with hose attachment, which attaches to the back. I have this little hooky thing here, and I have it where it's draining into my dish drain. Now, my dish drain, I actually have a paint trough here. And underneath, I have drilled holes so that the water can go into the sink. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the attachment here. Con of this was one washer just didn't stop the dripping once it was connected. I had to use two washers in here, but since then I've had no problems. I did see a man, and I don't know which video it was. He was from the USA. He actually had this set up where this was torn apart and he had like this extra attachment in there where it was attached back here. That would have been awesome. But I can't find that attachment here anywhere. So it's right into the sink once I hook it up. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is love this dish strainer. It works great. I don't know how I could have lived without it. It's a lot easier than the metal ones. The only bad thing to it, of course, is that it doesn't have a stopper where you can stop the water. But I just have one of these where I take that out and put this in when I want to fill up my sink. So I don't usually fill up my sink. I have like a little tub that sits in there when I wash dishes. And really, the other thing about this is I don't wash my pots and pans with this. I just wash my glasses, silverware, plates, things like that. And really, you know, it is a dirty dish catcher is what it really is, which I love. So how this works is that you take your hose, and this is the flange, and you just push this flange down and you attach it to the sink. And then you turn the sink on cold. Here you got a red plunger, so when you push it, water comes through. So to take this off, you would shut off the water first. Flush the water out of the hose using the red plunger, and then remove this. I can't tell you how many times I've not done it right, and I've had water go all over the place. So I just laugh it off. I'm like, oh, Lisa, you kook. So here, I've got it on. And so now we're going to move over to here and talk about the settings here. So we've got the on off. We've got a timer here. But also too, if you don't have the water on, this thing is going to flag it and say you don't have the water on, and it'll shut off. It'll beep a little bit and then end up, I think, shutting off to remind you that to turn on your water. So you got the timer here, and then you also have your settings here. So I usually leave it on this setting. I suppose I could try to do it on this setting as well because I don't do pots and pans, but I just usually leave it on that setting. It is really good with water. You can look in your booklet and it saves a lot of water. So that I love because I'm saving water really by washing my dishes in here. And then this is the start button. So when you start it, it's going to sound like this. So it's getting all ready to go. And then eventually you'll hear, like here, it's kind of getting rid of whatever's in the hose. I'm not sure exactly how the cycle works, but it sounds kind of like that throughout the process. You'll hear the blade going and moving, the dishes being washed. It's actually not real loud. It does make some noise, but it's okay. I don't have a problem with that. Now opening it, you have your containment for the dish soap, which there's a button on the bottom, and you push that open and there's two compartments. I usually put a little bit in each one. Sometimes I'll just fill like this one up and that's enough. Honestly, I don't use a heck of a lot of chemical anymore because I've got some issues with allergies, but I've also tried baking soda with a couple drops of dish soap. Honestly, I get really worried about that because you could make a mess with the dish soap. And for me personally, my dishes feel grainy. So not sure if that works really well. Maybe if I took hot water and mixed the baking soda with the hot water and put it in as a liquid and then just put a drop of the dish soap, not sure. I usually just use what's recommended in the instructions. Here's where you put your rinse aid and you just turn it to the left, lift up, put your rinse aid in, and turn it to the right. When you've got the dish soap in there, then you just shut it. Here you've got your rack, and I'm going to call the bottom of this the floor. So when you pull it out, the con of this is there is not a lot of spindles on here as far as in certain areas. There's real wide gaps, and I really don't care for that. I think it's dumb. I'm sorry. I don't like it. The other thing is here I've made mention, and I think there's some comments about how the reason they didn't put spindles or anything on the bottom of this is because of the dish container, but that really is not correct, because whether it's the dish thing is closed, and you know what'll happen is once you turn it on, it'll open, it'll fly open, and it'll wash the dishes. But even when it's open, it doesn't do anything, and really it's not going to do that unless this is in there. So that really has nothing to do with this part. I was trying these little things. Someone said use these pike things. It doesn't work very well here, and I really don't think it works too well on the spindles. I don't want to recommend anything because this gets super hot. What I do really most of the time is I use this. Now these were attached here. I think they could have taken, and if they wouldn't have put this here and they would have moved this back just a little bit and made something on the floor like this, this would have been a perfect spot to put all my spatulas and things like that, big spoons. That would have been perfect. It's a waste of space, I think, personally. That's my opinion. So, but what I'll do with this is I'll just put this back here certain places so that things don't fall through. That's kind of the con of it. The pro of it is it washes really, really good, and the blade, you know, works fine. What I will do every once in a while after I wash is I will take distilled vinegar. I will not put it in here. I will just put a little bit here, and I will turn it on, and I will use, usually it's this one here. This is like 10 minutes. So if I go over here, this one's 10 minutes. But if I go to, I think it's this one here, I will do that, and what that seems to do is it really does clean out the dishwasher and makes it nice and shiny. I'll do that once a month, but I do not, again, I do not put it in these containers. I would not recommend doing that in here because this is all rubber and plastic, and distilled vinegar, and vinegar is acid, so I wouldn't recommend that. However, I do like stick it here. I'll just pour some here, shut it, and just rinse it out. The rinse aid does work really well with the dishes, but sometimes it just doesn't seem like it gets the dishwasher that clean. Sometimes. Could be that I'm a little low, but I think I actually have plenty in there. Now, getting to loading the dishwasher. I have tried different ways, and I've got some stuff out here, so I'm going to show you here. Here's a big plate. So you could try to load the big plates back here. They do sort of fit, but it's a real pain. And the thing is if you're going to load plates back here, you really can't load anything here until you get your plates back there. I have some smaller plates. Now they go back there pretty nicely. They will fit back. Now I really don't go that close. I go like that, because it just doesn't seem like there'd be enough water to come up and really rinse these dishes. Although I have to say it's a really great dishwasher. That way it really cleans these dishes well. So you could put them there. Putting them here, I don't know if that would bump into the blade on the bottom, because that blade is spinning. So usually I stick them back here. And then the cups and the glasses, I usually stick here. And that's why, to me, this doesn't work well. Right, so the silverware container goes here. It opens up on both sides, which is great. It goes here. It kind of does sit over here if you wanted it there. What I do, though, is I leave it here, but I use one of these tie things to tie it on, because otherwise it falls over for me. And then I've got silverware all over inside, and it's a real pain. So I just use this and I just keep it on there, and that's the way I deal with it. And so then I can stagger my plates like this. Now you can't get a whole heck of a lot of plates in here, I don't think. Personally, that's my opinion. You can't really get plates here. It's just really tough to get a big plate. As you can tell, it's tough to get the big plates back there. This is horrible. That's the one thing I wouldn't do. I would put them on the side. That's for me. That's the way I do it. I suppose you could try to put these over there. That doesn't work very well. See? So that's what I do there. And then I put this here. I have that little tie thing on here, and then I put it back. All you would do is you'd load it, you'd fill it up, turn it on, and you're good to go. And that's what it sounds like. You have to have a lot of room to be using it for, you know, like a big family. I don't know. Personally, you could put the glasses, the silverware, you know, some of the smaller plates in here. And what I usually do is I do that, and then I wash my pots and pans separately, and then I run this at night. I do try to run this at least every 3 days because it will get kind of smelly. You know, you got to keep it going. It is great as far as like every once in a while I've had like a couple pieces of corn or maybe a raisin or something. Not very much. I do make an effort to clean off the dishes before I put them in the dishwasher. However, it really does clean your dishes very, very well. Like all the silverware. A lot of people would put their forks the opposite way. I actually put my forks this way, and it washes them just fine. Very seldom do I have a problem. For my steak knives, it's actually not recommended to run them through the dishwasher. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll put stuff in there and I'll just take it out and wash it and, you know, leave what I need to in here. It's a dirty dish catcher, right? That's what it is. So anyway, I hope this view has been helpful for people. Please like, subscribe, and share all my videos, and put comments below if you'd like to. And then with that, please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again next time in Lisa's chat room.